How is this lighting? Like, I don't know. Do we like this lighting? Do we hate this lighting? Do we hate my hairstyle? Because it's not looking too good. Oh my god. Oh my god. Is this a good angle? Alright, I think this is gonna have to work. Okay, I feel like if I just don't move too much, it should be fine. Hey guys, welcome back to the vlog. I am going to start my videos like that from now on. I think that's gonna be my intro, even if it's not a vlog. I'm not sure though. Let me know if you guys like that. I used to make videos when I was like 13 and I used to say that all the time. So I feel like let's bring it back, you know? Today we're doing something just a little bit different because I am suffering with a migraine. Also, I did not post a video last week, and that's just because I was so busy with this painting, you see? The big one. Stay tuned for TikTok. It'll be on there. It should be on there right now, actually, and it should be on a YouTube short right now. Anyway, so we're gonna be reading the submissions on Reddit and deciding whether they're or not. So, simple as that. Let's get into it. Am I the for telling my wife my mother is correct and she needed to be a parent today and she f***ed it up? Oh, wow. This is already tricky with the title, so let's start reading. I am waiting in the airport and I need to know if I f***ed it up or not. This week, my daughter, she is in middle school, lost a classmate. My daughter's not taking it well, and overall this is her first experience of someone she knows dying. The whole class was excused from school today and the funeral is happening right now. I unfortunately could not be there. I tried, but my PTO was denied and we cannot lose this job. That's rough. Like, to be in middle school and you already lost somebody? I flew out of Wednesday night and I'm coming back now. Our daughter is a mess. She was friends with the girl that passed away. The plan was for my wife, she is unemployed at the moment, to take her to the funeral/mass and just be there. My wife is more spiritual than the average person, hates all things with the dead. Funerals, viewings, and so on. This one is only a mass funeral, no viewing. She believes in ghosts and will avoid funerals like the plague. What? Wait, I don't understand that because I believe in ghosts, and what is wrong with a funeral? How is that like, is that like bad to believe in ghosts and also go to funerals? I don't know. Guys, I'm feeling really chopped today. Also, how's my fake tan look? We discussed it on Wednesday and she said she would take her kid and then go to the gravesite. I got a call from my daughter sobbing that she wasn't going to the funeral. My wife was refusing to take her. When I got her to answer my call, she told me she can't do it and she is scared to go. I called my mom and asked her to pick up my daughter and take her to the funeral. My mom left work and took her. They are there now. Why are you scared of... Okay. I got a call from my wife after with her crying because my mom tore her a new one. The gist was my mom called her a bad parent and that it is so effed up that she couldn't take out our kid to the funeral for a classmate. She wants me to make my mom apologize and I told her my mom was right. That is something that our daughter needed and she effed up. She wasn't acting like a parent because of her fear of the dead. All she needed to do was stay through the mass. We got into a huge phone call argument and she is calling me a huge so my mom apparently is getting texts also, and I told her not to let her daughter know that we were fighting and if she could look after her for the day. She agreed. Okay, I personally do not think that this guy is the a-hole. I feel like you have a responsibility to take your daughter to this funeral and she's already going through a lot, and to say like, I'm just so scared. And now I'm understanding, I think she's afraid of ghosts and that's why she's afraid to go to the funeral, because she's afraid something's gonna happen. But like, that is such like a, I'm not gonna say it, but that is such a ridiculous excuse to not take your kid to something that she needed to go to. I declare this not the... Ooh, this looks like a good one. My for humiliating my ex's new girlfriend in front of our friend group. Ooh, I'm excited. I, 22 female, broke up with my boyfriend, 24 male, around 8 months ago. We decided to mutually call it quits and parted in pretty good terms, which is good because we so happen to share a friend group. Ooh, that's rough. After a rough patch, I decided to start taking a bit more care of myself, eating better, going to the gym, going to therapy. The shift was pretty evident, both in my attitude and the way I look. My friend said I look much happier and healthier, and I began... Guys, I can't read. Guys, I can't read. My friend said I look much better. My friend said I looked... And I began gaining confidence little by little. Now I'm a huge nerd. I play D&D weekly. Sorry. Okay, Dustin Henderson. I have thousands of hours in Stellaris, I don't know what that means, and most relevant to the story, I like to cosplay as a hobby. Most of my old cosplay involved characters that don't show their face or body too much, Hornet from Hollow Knight, Mono from Little Nightmares, etc. But since I've been feeling more confident, I decided that for the big con in my city, I'd like to try something different. A friend convinced me of going as Viper and Chamber from Valorant, so I don't know who these people are. So for the past 6 months, we've been pouring most of our free time into cosplays. 3 weeks ago, I sent a picture of me wearing the cosplay to the group chat asking for feedback for the final details. My ex immediately DM'd me asking to please not wear that cosplay to the con because it might make his new girlfriend uncomfortable. What? I asked what about it would make her uncomfortable, but he refused to elaborate. I knew he was dating something new, but I didn't know she was coming with us to the con. I tried to explain to him that this was the work of months, and I couldn't just throw it all away because a girl I've never met felt uncomfortable about it. In the end, I wore it to the con, and it was a huge success. I tried to keep my distance from the larger chunk of our group because my ex and his new girl were there with them, but we did spend a good part of the day with them. Throughout the whole thing, the new girl kept making snide comments at me and laughing whenever I got asked to pose for pictures. Everyone looked uncomfortable, but nobody said anything. After leaving the con to have dinner though, another friend asks the new girl if she wouldn't like to try cosplaying as well. Guys, this is like popcorn reading at school. This is actually the worst. Her answer was, why would I need more attention from guys? I already have a boyfriend. I'm not a I snapped and told her to stop acting like a pick-me because I got attention all day. She started to cry immediately. My ex steps in, asking me to apologize. I tell him I'd only do it if she apologized for the way she's been acting around me all day. More and more of our friends started to join in the screaming match, and it gets so bad we end up getting kicked out of the restaurant. It's been 5 days. My ex is threatening to leave the friend group if I didn't apologize. I honestly wouldn't care if he did, but some of our friends are asking me to do it to stop him from leaving. Should I cave? Am I the Whoa. Okay. Once again, I do not think this person is the I feel like if this girl was like so uncomfortable with it, I think that this new girl should go and talk to this ex and say like, hey girl, like this making me uncomfortable, but at the same time it's like you don't have to go. Like you do not have to hang out with this girl. Like you do not have to hang out with her. So the whole like freaking out and the side comment of like I'm not a is crazy. That's insane. If someone did that or said that to me, let me just say they'd get rocked because that is not okay at all to say to somebody. I do not think that this person is the Would I be the for saying I don't want an adult man going to the movies with my teenage son and his friends? I immediately don't think so, but let's read it anyway. My son, John, is 15. He and his friends are really into the back rooms. If you're not a teenager... Oh, this is from 2 hours ago, guys. If you're not a teenager and you don't know what that is, it's like a spooky YouTube video based on liminal pictures or something. A movie is coming out. The day the tickets went on sale, my son immediately bought a bunch for him and his friend group. He obviously told me about it because A, he's excited, and B, he will need a ride, lol. But other than that, he bought the tickets with his own money and is planning it himself. Recently, I was stopped after school by the mother of one of the friends, another 15-year-old boy we will call Bob. I don't know Bob or his parents that well. Bob seems lovely whenever I have interacted with him, and the few interactions I've had with his mom have been odd. This was no exception. She told me that the reason Bob had not RSVP'd yet, I didn't even know this, lol, is because she wanted to know more about the movie. Personally, I would have Googled, but I told her what I knew, that I understand it to be kind of a thriller / spooky, not like a slasher movie or anything. Then she tells me that Bob has never seen a horror movie before and she's unsure if she wants to send him. Okay. Then she asks about what time the movie is, when to get there, etc. I told her honestly I don't know off the top of my head. She will have to ask John. He is the one planning it. I feel like she was looking at me like I had 4 heads, but maybe I was imagining. Then she told me a story about how she was scarred by a horror movie as a kid and has still has lingering issues about it. I wasn't sure what to say. Girl. So dramatic. She concludes by telling me that she still needs to think about it, which is fine, but then says if she does let Bob go, her husband will go too and sit in the row behind the boys. I kind of nodded along because I needed to leave, but I have not been able to bring myself to tell my son this information, and I'm realizing it's because it's weird. I feel like it's weird for an adult to sit behind a bunch of high school kids at a movie. My son paid like $80 for these tickets, which is a lot in kid money. Girl, that's a lot in 21-year-old money because $80 for a movie is crazy. Oh, he and his friends are really good kids. I'm sure they want to be able to yell, oh shit, when a monster jumps out, or whatever else 15-year-old boys say when their parents aren't around. Would I be the I reached out to his mom and told her I wasn't comfortable with that arrangement. I will feel bad if that means Bob can't go, but that's weird, right? Edit. Comically, I had no idea this movie was rated R. The videos my son showed me were pretty tame. Maybe the movie's different, or maybe I have no idea how ratings work. So thanks for the intel on the case. Bob's dad going saves me from having to go. I'm assuming Bob's dad is gonna go, but this is hard because on one side it's just like a parent being uncomfortable with another adult hanging out with her child, but he's not really hanging out with them. He's more monitoring the situation. But I also think a 15-year-old is old enough to not need their dad to sit behind them for a movie. I'm gonna go in the middle with this one. I don't really think that she'd be I'd probably think she's I don't know, that's rough. I'm trying to think of like my sisters, like if they needed a mom to sit behind them. Like I honestly would feel more safe about it if there was an adult with them, but at the same time, like they're 15 years old and I feel like they'd be able to handle a scary movie on their own. So I think Bob needs to just suck it up and go without his daddy. I think it's gonna be okay. Am I the for telling my dad he can't invite his girlfriend to my graduation because my mom paid for the trip? This is gonna be a good one. This is gonna be a good one. I, 22 female, am graduating college in 2 weeks. My parents divorced when I was 11. They're civil now, but they are not friends. I love my dad, but he has always been the parent who shows up if it is easy. My mom was the one who showed up when it was not. She works extra shifts, drove me everywhere, helped with forms, cried with me when I almost dropped out, and somehow still made me feel like I was not a burden. My graduation is 7 hours from home, and I only got 4 guest tickets. I invited my mom, my dad, my younger brother, and my grandma. My grandma helped raise me when my mom was struggling, so having her there matters a lot. My mom booked an Airbnb months ago for herself, my brother, my grandma, and me. She also paid for the rental car and gas because my brother and grandma could not afford the trip. My dad said he would drive himself and get a cheap motel. Of course. Then last month, he said money was tight and he might not come. I tried to act like I understood, but I was hurt, rightfully. My mom quietly offered to pay for 1 hotel night so he could still be there. She said, you deserve both parents there, even though I know it cost her more than just money. Last week, my dad called sounding excited and said his girlfriend Kara got the weekend off and was coming too. They've been dating 8 months. I have met her twice. She's not evil or anything, but she is not close to me. At my brother's birthday dinner, and you did at my birthday dinner.
You did it at my birthday dinner.
She kept calling herself the bonus mom now, and my brother looked like he wanted to disappear. I asked my dad what he meant by Kara was coming. He said she wanted to support me and was basically family. I told him I did not have a ticket for her. He said she could still come to dinner, take pictures, and hang out in the Airbnb. I said no, because the Airbnb was paid for by my mom for the people invited. He said Kara would not mind sleeping on the couch. Bro was really pushing this. That honestly made me snap a little. I told him the couch was not the point. The point was my mom paid so he can come watch his daughter graduate, not so he can turn into a couple's weekend. He got upset and said my mom gets to be the main parent and he just wanted someone there so he could not feel awkward. I told him this weekend was not about making him comfortable. It was about me graduating, and I wanted one weekend where my mom was not expected to swallow her feelings and fix everyone else's. He said if Kara was not welcome, maybe he should just stay home. I said that was his choice, but I'm not giving up my brother's or grandma's spot, and I was not asking my mom to host his girlfriend. Now my aunt says I humiliated him and made Kara feel unwanted. My dad said I hope making your point was worth it. My mom says she supports me, but I can tell she feels guilty. I do want my dad there. I just hate that even my graduation has somehow turned into everyone worrying about his feelings. Am I the You are not the girl. You are not, okay? That is so absurd, okay? 8 months. They've been together 8 months. This girl has met her twice, okay? She's calling herself the bonus mom? It hasn't been a year. Bro, you're not a bonus anything. You're a side piece at this point still. And the fact that she like feels unwanted, it's like good because you are unwanted. That sounds crazy. You did not get invited. I am so the type, like, stop inviting yourself to things. If you're not invited, do not invite yourself, okay? If you're not invited, they don't want you there. So do not invite yourself. And the fact that her dad is choosing a girlfriend that he met not very long ago or, like, hasn't dated for very long over his daughter is actually insane. Him being upset that her mom is always the main parent really is frustrating because I can relate to this so much. It's just like if you tried harder, you would get to be the other main parent. Like there is no main parent if you are equally trying as much. And I don't know. I think the dad is full on the situation, and I will always say that about most dads. I just can't. You're not the I want to find one where I do think the person is. This one sounds like the title of this is rough. Am I the for telling my daughter-in-law to stop crying after she got called fat? Okay, my daughter-in-law is a very sensitive soul, to put it lightly. She'll end up in tears at basically any pushback or any slightly rude remark. It can be extremely frustrating because anything brought up will end with her in tears and you looking like a huge. One example, she has a habit of not taking off her shoes before going into people's homes. About a year ago, she was tracking mud into my home and I told her to take off her shoes. She started crying because my tone was too much. I didn't yell or anything. My daughter was there and agreed I wasn't mean when I said take off her shoes. It was a whole thing, and my son gave me a whole lecture about how I can't say things like that. I told her to take off her shoes. She isn't a quiet crier either. It's loud and everyone notices the moment it happens. Then everyone needs to comfort her and you were the for making her cry. There are more examples of this and the whole family has to deal with it. The issues was this weekend get together for my daughter-in-law's birthday party. Wait, whoa. The issues was this weekend get together for my daughter-in-law's daughter's birthday. Oh my god, that's a lot. The birthday was going well, and there are a lot of young kids. One of the kids, he is 4, almost 5, can be rude. His parents are working on it. He doesn't have a filter. During the event, when she was helping passing out the food, he called her fat. The parents grabbed him and she started crying. It was getting loud, so I pulled her off the side and told her to stop crying. I didn't want her to cause a scene at a 7-year-old's birthday party. It was a little kid's remark and told her not to come out of the room unless she was composed. She ended up going to a car and didn't come back to the party. My son and I got into an argument. My point is, she's a grown adult and she's crying over a 4-year-old saying something mean. He's telling me to apologize, but at this point, I am not. Okay. This is interesting. I understand people being super sensitive is rough and hard to deal with, but at the same time, you have to really put yourself in their shoes and imagine what it would be like if you were so sensitive over every little thing. Like, that must really take a toll on her life, and she might be dealing with body image issues, and that might have just been like a breaking point for her. Even though he does say that she does cry about everything, I understand. I don't know. I just feel like this person could have gone about the situation differently instead of like telling her to stop crying and like come out when you're better. Like, I feel like you should have given her some kind of comfort, even though it can be frustrating. But once again, you have to put yourself in other people's shoes, and that might just be like the breaking point for them. That might just be too much. And yeah, I honestly do think you're a bit of am I the cousin wants to hand out invites at my wedding? My cousin, 28 female, and I, 24 female, aren't super close, and she wants to hand out invites for her wedding on my wedding day. What? Oh my god. And you did it on my wedding day. My cousin had gotten engaged September of 25, and there was no talks about a wedding because her fiance was 5 states away for a job and they weren't living together at that point. No one knew that they were going to get married, but they assumed 27 or 28. Earlier this month, my brother graduated from college, and my cousin and I were at the party chatting. The conversations were fine, but when I would talk to other people or group, anytime I would say something, she would cut me off and try to make me sound stupid or try to undermine me. I'm getting triggered. This goes on for about 2 hours straight until halfway in I'm just zoning her out like I used to do at the holidays. She then mentioned to me that she was getting married in February of 27 and she plans on giving out invites at my wedding since mine is in August. That comment goes straight over my head and I just pick a new subject. At the end of our conversation, she also makes a loud call out to me in front of everyone that we need to have coffee and talk. A week later, I'm processing that comment and I'm pissed because she said she had the address and the stamps, but just thought it was smarter to do it at my wedding day. There was also a 90th birthday party for that side of the family that is happening 3 weeks after my wedding, but she never mentioned giving them out there or even asking for my permission to do that at my wedding. I explained to my parents how this feels like a power play and I refuse to be a doormat on my wedding day, especially for her. They didn't believe it was bad until of course they didn't, until they got third-party opinions and people were pissed at my cousin. I then sent her a message that said, after speaking to you last weekend, I realized you mentioned handing out invites during my wedding day. I am not comfortable with you doing that on my wedding day. You can hand them out the day before or the day after. Thank you for understanding. Wait, and what did she say? Okay, so that's the end of the story. I don't think you're the I don't think so, because time and place.
Time and place.
You don't hand out birthday invitations at a birthday party. You don't hand out wedding invitations at a wedding party. That's like handing out funeral invitations at a funeral. It's like, you don't do that. Time and place, guys. These people, whoever this is, your cousin has no class, is all I'm gonna say. And that wedding is probably gonna be trash. Ooh, okay. This is gonna be the last one. It seems like an interesting one. Am I the for using my dad's underwear to make a point about the toilet seat? This has been going on for so long in my house that I feel like I need a third opinion. I, 21 female, same as me, live with my parents and younger sister, 13 female. We have a 2-bedroom apartment with 1 bathroom thanks to old building layouts, so all of us share it. The problem is my dad does not lift the toilet seat when he pees, and he ends up leaving splash marks on the seat, refuses to clean after himself too. It's not about how it looks, it just also smells and makes it inconvenient for me, my sister, and my mother to use the bathroom, checking for stains every time. We have told him many times over the years to lift the seat, but he refuses and ignores it. Of course, he's a man. At one point, when my sister was younger, like 9, she used to sit without thinking much and got a skin rash. Oh, that's disgusting. I was really frustrated and it kind of blew up for me recently. I told my dad that if he kept leaving the seat dirty, I would start cleaning it with his underwear. He did not take me seriously, so I actually did it. Whenever I found stains, I used one of his clean underwear to wipe it. I even used the ones he kept as backup. Eventually, he ran out of clean underwear and the ones left smelled, so he realized what I've been doing. We had a big fight about it and we have not spoken for 2 months. 2 months? Oh my god, so extreme. Some relatives found out and are telling me I'm making a big deal out of a small issue. First, they refused to even address the issue when I tried to explain, and now they just explained to me that it's just a habit he doesn't have. We should just make up and not spoil our relationship over this. My sister is also telling me to stop fighting, but I feel like this is basic hygiene in a shared space. I know using his underwear was extreme, but I also tried talking about it for years and nothing changed. I will not lie, it has started to take a bit of a toll on me because he has started a cold war in my house, but I feel like I should stand my ground because if I don't, my compliance will spill into other things that are just not minor inconveniences. Am I the for standing my ground over this? Edit. Some extra context. Yes, I am an adult, but I would live in India where you don't really start earning till you get a degree, which is at 22 or you are a laborer. I already have a job and will be moving out, and that is 1 year for me, but I will have to leave my sister behind. A lot of people suggested to keep the seat up, and I agreed it's a good preventative measure, but we need to keep the lid closed when no one is using it because things can crawl up the drain since we live in a decently close proximity to the forest. That's terrifying. To all the people coming after my mom, please don't. In a culture where a woman's life is defined by her father, husband, and then son, she has done the best she could. She came up from a village where she literally was the first woman to have an office job. You know why? Because people did not educate their daughters since they will be married off eventually. She still supports us to the best of her abilities and has her own differences with my father. She did take my side, but I don't blame her for not being an active participant, oh my god, in this since she has her own issues to deal with. Okay, let's keep the mom out of it. I also don't understand why her other relatives are finding out and like putting in their 2 cents because it's like nobody asked you and you also don't live there and you don't have to deal with that, so like who cares about your opinion? Okay, like who cares? Honestly, I think it's valid. Like the whole like I don't want it to spill into other things that he needs to be responsible for. You are a parent, and if your child is uncomfortable with something or everybody in the family is telling you to do something, it's your responsibility to fix yourself, better yourself, and to start doing that, even if it's something as stupid as just lifting up a toilet seat. And you know what? That is such a serve that she used his underwear to clean up the toilet, because it's like, you know, you want to be nasty, you want to get us dirty, especially her sister got a skin rash from you being nasty. Like if I find out that I made one of my sisters sick or dirty in any way because of my actions, I'd feel so disgusted with myself, and the fact that he doesn't is a problem. So no, I do not think you're and I feel like I'm not in the vast majority of that, like with the 3 edits. Okay guys, sorry my nose is red, I just blew my nose. My phone ran out of storage again and I'm not deleting more stuff, so but anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys like this type of video, let me know so I can make more. I love you guys, have a great day, and I will see you in the next one. Hey!